Hey guys, Willie here with W.T.F Car Reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing the all-new 2024 Mazda CX-50 Turbo Premium.
And a big thanks to George at Furman Mazda in Brandon, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to their inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car or SUV in the Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out and ask for George.
And as most of you guys probably know by now, Mazda released the CX-50 as their larger compact SUV last year for 2023, featuring 5.7-inch increase in length, 3-inch increase in width, and a near 2-inch increase in height compared to the smaller compact CX-5. Although cargo space is about the same between the two at 30.8 cubic feet for the CX-5 and 31.4 cubic feet for the CX-50, the increase in both length and wheelbase allows for a much more comfortable ride for the backseat passengers. Towing is also up by 1,500 pounds compared to the CX-5, and for 2024, the CX-50 gets a more refined steering rack and suspension, as well as all trims from the Premium and up now getting standard wireless charging and 12-speaker Bose sound system. There's 8 trims for the 2024 CX-50 and 2 power plants, all made it to Mazda's 6-speed automatic transmission and all-wheel drive. The first 4 trims get the naturally aspirated 4-cylinder, which cranks out 187 horsepower, 187 pound-feet of torque, enough to get the CX-50 to 60 in around 8 seconds, and the top 4 trims get the 2.5-liter turbo, which cranks out 256 horsepower and a beefy 320 pound-feet of torque, enough to get the CX-50 to 60 in about 6.5 seconds. Here we have the Turbo Premium sitting only below the Turbo Premium Plus with a base price of $41,000. What else do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So from a styling perspective, really not much has changed from 2023. It doesn't really have to. It's a ground up all new vehicle. The headlamps remind me a little bit of the CX-5s. We get the LED daytime running lights and active projectors for the high and low beam, of course all LEDs. I'm loving Mazda's grille with the carbon finish for the surrounds of the grille and gloss black surrounding the chrome Mazda badge, the panel housing your advanced safety features in the lower part of the bumper, and pretty solid airflow. We get active shutters for the radiator up top and active shutters for the intercooler down below, as well as active airflow in both corners leading directly to the brakes. I'm really liking the front end design. From a styling perspective, I think this looks a lot better compared to a CX-5. Driving dynamics are similar. We'll check that out once we take it out for a drive, but we just get a little bit more space here with the CX-50. The wheel and tire setup, this is basically a top trim. We mentioned the only trim above this is the Premium Plus. We get these beautiful 20-inch trims with the black and silver contrast, wrapped in Goodyear Eagle Touring all-season tires. Dimensions being a square 245/45 R20, again, Eagle Touring with a 5-piece lug pattern. A little bit of plastic, well, a lot of plastic cladding for the wheel well and rocker panel side skirt area, but that'll help you out off-roading. Again, this is standard all-wheel drive, and with this turbocharged 2.5-liter 4-cylinder, this should be surprisingly capable off-road. I believe you get over 8 inches of ground clearance. Blacked out mirrors with LED turn signals on them, all black trim for the window trim, aluminum roof rails, and a massive panoramic moonroof, shark fin style antenna, smart access for the driver and a front passenger, nothing out rear. Hopefully you get a good look at the window sticker for this 2024 CX-50 with a polymetal gray metallic and a terracotta interior. Standard features, you guys can pause, take a look. It's 310 pound-feet of torque. I apologize for saying 320. Anyway, you can pause, take a look at the standard features on a $41,300 Mazda CX-50. The black lug nuts and black wheel locks are $175, $450 for the polymetal gray metallic paint, $150 for the splash guards, $560 for the trailer hitch and wiring harness, which can tow up to 3,500 pounds, $110 for the cargo package, giving the cargo blocks and cargo net, as well as all the features you get from the Turbo Premium, featuring ventilated front seats, a heated steering wheel, power side mirrors with memory seats, well, memory mirrors and memory seats, auto folding power mirrors too, active driving display, that's your heads-up display, Bose 12-speaker audio system, which is standard from the Premium and up. You get 3 months of series and roof-mounted shark fin antenna. After a $1,375 destination charge, we're sitting a tick over $44,000. The gas cap is push to open, no easy fill. I'd recommend putting premium fuel in this turbocharged 4-cylinder. You can throw 87 in, but it will compromise your power and probably long-term reliability. The rear taillights are full LEDs. It's not a functional heat extractor in the corner, but it still looks super aggressive. You get a chrome CX-50 all-wheel drive badge in the left corner, Skyactiv G Turbo in the right corner. Shout out Furman Mazda in Brandon, Florida for helping make this review possible. We get the tow hitch down below with a wiring harness. That's about a $560 option, and it can tow about 3,500 pounds. Dual exhaust too. And speaking of the dual exhaust, let's fire up this 2.5 liter turbo 4-cylinder and hear how she sounds. Alright guys, that was the sound of the 2.5 liter turbo 4-cylinder sold by Mazda for the 2024 CX-50, and it sounds okay, making a very healthy amount of power at 256 horsepower, 310 pound-feet of torque, enough to get the CX-50 to 60 in the mid 6-second range. Definitely a respectable number for a compact SUV starting close to 40,000 bucks. The hydraulic struts are also appreciated. What you see is basically what we get. We can shut this hood right down, take a step back, walk around this 2024 CX-50 one more time, and then take a step inside and see what we get with a near top trim turbo premium. Another thing I'm noticing is not only is this paint color a beautiful polymetal metallic, we get the carbon finish metallic for the mirror caps too. Taking a step inside, we can really check it out. So up top, we get soft touch material, 2 Bose speakers on the door panel, gushy soft leather in the center with this contrast stitching. The color for the stitching is terracotta, same for the armrest and same for the seats. It is beautiful. Aluminum door handle, lock and unlock, 4-way auto one touch, the lockers, power folding mirrors, and they're 4-way adjustable. Very solid storage down below too. You'll easily stack up 2 footlongs on top of each other. You probably won't be able to do a footlong and a drink, but if you want just a drink, you should be able to fit a big gulp. Very impressive amount of storage. The seats are also beautiful, these terracotta seats, perforated in the center, very well bolstered for a premium SUV. You get 2-way lumbar control, you can recline, drop, lift, and slide the seats, as well as 2-person memory right down below. Taking a step inside, we can fire up this 2024 CX-50, and it is a hot one. So I apologize that the AC is a little bit loud, but it is 101 degrees right now in Tampa, Florida, so I really need it. But first thing we notice is just how premium this overall interior looks. Mazda really knocked that out of the park. They're not skimping out on anything with a near $40,000 SUV. We get heated and ventilated seats, a heated steering wheel, and super premium materials, and that's just the start of it. From the steering wheel, it's nice, thick, leather wrapped, 10-2 solid, 9-3 feels perfect in your hand. It's not a flat bottom, but it doesn't need to be. The horn area is rubberized, the horn itself loud and aggressive. People should be definitely getting out of your way. We'll do a window check. We don't get dual panes, but it's a very thick single pane of glass. The steering wheel controls, we get volume and skip on the left side, voice commands, you can hang up and answer your phone calls, infotainment adjustments. Here you can adjust between a digital analog speedometer. You can see your drive information right back where we started and right back to where we were here. My personal favorite would be to look at this screen, in my opinion, with a analog digitally illuminated speedometer. On the right side, we have radar cruise control, and you can adjust it with these buttons to the right. Paddle shifters too, controlling the 6-speed auto transmission, auto headlamps, auto high beams with a super satisfying click, and auto rain sensing wipers, all very premium features for the price point. We get a tilt and telescoping steering wheel. It's not power adjusted. Again, wouldn't be expected with a $40,000 SUV. You can turn off the 360 sense, turn off the traction control, and you can turn off the auto engine start stop, which we will for the purpose of this review. We mentioned a 2-person memory seats. To the left of it, we have our trunk release. The air vents are surrounded in some faux aluminum trim with some leather and that contrast stitching right in the center. The dashboard is all soft touch. You get a 10.25-inch screen. It's not a touch screen. It's adjusted with this dial in the center. And we have communication, entertainment, information, navigation, and settings. We'll see if the SD card is hooked up. It's not. Mazda sells the SD card for, I believe, $450, but you can get that same SD card from eBay or Amazon for $50, and you'll have the exact same navigation. It'll just take about a day, maybe a few hours to really calibrate in your SUV. But the next time you start it up, I promise you will have navigation. My grandpa just bought a 2023 CX-5, and we did the same thing, and now it 100% works. Beneath that, we have more of that leather stitching, super soft too with the contrast We have dual zone automatic climate control with the air vent adjustments in the center. Heated and ventilated front seats, that's also a top-notch premium feature. Heated steering wheel, that's great for cold climates, and standard all-wheel drive, also great for cold climates. We have a 12-volt right below, solid storage, 2 cup holders. You'll fit 30-ounce bottles with these pushy things to keep the smaller drinks in place. The gear selector controls the 6-speed automatic transmission. The backup camera is super crisp. We don't get trajectory, but we do get guidance lines, so can't really complain. Throw it right back into park, and it immediately returns us to the home screen. Our My Drive control, we get sport, normal, and off-road. We'll start the review off in normal, transition to sport, and just see what the differences are. Electronic parking brake with brake hold and volume and skip adjustments. Perfect location for both the driver and the passenger favorites behind it. Shortcuts too for the touchscreen. We have navigation, return, home, and music. The armrest is gushy soft for the center console. Wireless charging right underneath it. You can open up in 2 tiers just like a BMW, and it's a very, very large console. You'll fit probably 5 or 6 1-liter bottles of soda, 2 USB-A ports in there too, and hopefully get a better look at the wireless charging pad. The glove box, it's hard plastic, but it's damped. Not lined with felt, and it's not the largest, but it's large enough. I'd expect you to fit probably 15 license plates down below, maybe another 5 up top. It is a 2-tier glove box. It's pretty cluttered, so it's tough for you guys to really see, but you can take my word for it. We have basically a frameless rear view mirror with 3 garage home link settings on it. The interior lights are LED, and we have a massive panoramic moonroof. Before we check that out, we also have a sunglass holder and an extension here for the sun visor. We'll see if it goes out. It actually doesn't go out, so that extension is all you have for the visor. The moonroof, hopefully you can pick it up on camera. It is very large. We'll see how far it opens up. It goes up on top of the 2nd tier. See if it goes out any further. It does not. So about halfway through the front row, not the widest opening at all, but it's still an opening. Really hot day today in Tampa, Florida. It's sunny and 101 degrees. Borderline brutal, so we can shut this moonroof right up. We'll leave the shade open so when we hop out back, you can see how much light is brought into the cabin. That's about it though for the front seat of this 2024 Mazda CX-50. The interior lights are right here to adjust the brightness. Let's hop out back, see how much space is offered back there, as well as the overall quality of the material. So out back, up top, we get hard plastic. I actually wasn't expecting it. I was expecting some soft touch up top, at least for a top, relatively top premium trim. We still get leather stitching in the center, and for the armrest though, auto one-touch windows, aluminum door handle, and nice grab handle. Additional one of your Bose speakers. Very impressive storage too, almost as impressive as up front. You should be able to stack probably 3 6-inch subs on top of each other. The rear seats are still terracotta leather with perforation in the center, contrast stitching too. The padding goes almost out to the door frame, so very couch-like. Looks like some impressive legroom. Taking a step inside, I'm a little bit over 6 feet tall, sitting behind my seat settings, and I still have about 1 inch, maybe 2 inches of knee room, so really not much more spacious compared to the CX-5. On paper, it's supposed to be like 3-ish inches of additional rear legroom. My grandpa has a 2023 CX-5, and this is about the same legroom as you would have there. Headroom, again, about the same. I have 1 inch, maybe 2 of extra headroom. So if you're under 6'3", 6'4", you should have no problem sitting behind your seat settings in the CX-50. We do get air vents. That's a big thumbs up too. 2 USB-A ports, the center console armrest, which is gushy soft terracotta leather. You'll fit 24, maybe 30-ounce bottles in these cup holders. Closing it right up. The interior lights are still LED. We get a hook that's nice for a suit or a dress. Same thing on the passenger side. That's about it though, guys, for the back seat. It's spacious, not as spacious as I was expecting compared to a CX-5, but compared to most of the compact segment, definitely competitive. Taking a step out to the cargo space, this is also a little bit larger compared to a CX-5, but again, not by much. This is still a compact SUV. Overall cargo space is 31.4 cubic inches behind the second row seats. It's 30.8 in the CX-5, but it looks a lot more spacious here. Much better use of space. The wheel well cutouts will allow you to fit a golf bag horizontally. Secret storage around the spare tire. There's not a lot, but you'll still be able to fit a little bit of secret stuff. You fold those rear seats down 60-40 split, I'd expect you to fit a 60-65-inch TV back here. Pretty solid amount of space for a compact SUV. The latches to fold the seats down, of course, right here in the corner. To drop the trunk right back down, you can press either of these two buttons. This button drops the trunk, this button drops it and locks it. We don't need to lock it, so we'll press this button on the right side. It gives you a second, so if you have grocery bags in your hands, it'll give you a second to get out of the way so you're not gonna get doofed in the head. I didn't mention that subtle shiny chrome right behind the seat pillar. I kind of wish they just blacked it out like the rest of the window trim. But other than that, this is a beautiful SUV, both inside and out. With a base price around 41,000 bucks, you get so much for the money. Performance-wise, be the 2.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, which makes a really healthy amount of power, especially for the segment. And speaking of power, let's take this 2024 CX-50 Turbo Premium all-wheel drive out for a drive and see what it's got. All right, guys, now we're just about seeing everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the all-new 2024 Mazda CX-50 Turbo Premium. Let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. My first impressions of the steering feels really good. It felt really good in 2023, but as we mentioned, Mazda re-refined the steering rack and suspension for 2024, so it should feel even better. Another thing I'm noticing, this heads-up display is super crisp. I'll actually lift the seat back up a little bit, so we were a little further back when we were in the back seat just now, but about third throttle, normal mode, boost, feels really strong. Takes about a second to kick in, but once it does, it pulls really hard, way harder than the naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. Taking a step out here, yeah, steering feels great, about half throttle, boost. Yeah, the gears are really long with this 6-speed. I wish we got the 8-speed transmission that we now get as part of the new CX-90. But this still feels solid. Let's throw it in the sport mode for this turning test. The steering feels a little bit better in sport. It doesn't change it a whole lot. The throttle gets more sensitive. Suspension stays about the same. It feels really good in terms of ride quality. Body roll, let's throw it in faster than we should. It stays super flat. Massive bumps. Boom. Boom. It hits them, you barely even feel them. They knocked this vehicle out of the park. Right here should be a good opportunity to try an acceleration out off the line. We'll do a slight brake torque, nothing too crazy. On the gas, let's go. Oh yeah. Woo. Good power. So the red line here is about 6,200 RPM, but as I expected, we're shifting closer to 5,000, as with most turbocharged engines. Mazda's turbo engine, it's very strong down low, it's very strong in the mid-range, but it tends to die off after about 5,000 RPM. So it's good they shift us early, keeps us in the meat of that power band. Through the turn with some throttle, it feels really planted, coming out about quarter throttle, but we're pulling hard. That heads-up display is super crisp. Still in sport mode, the steering does get a little bit heavier, but not too drastically. One more step out here, about half throttle, sharp. Yeah, good mid-range. That's where this vehicle shines. It's that light throttle, boost kicking in, and it's just taking off. Throwing it in, make sure we're good, throwing it in. Woo, on the gas. Yeah. That time it let us rev to about 5,500. Nice. But yeah, it doesn't blow you away. I could see 0 to 60 being in the mid to high 6-second range. I was hoping with this power plant we'd be touching the 5s, but without a tune, that's just probably not going to be the case. Half throttle sport mode, strong. Yeah, you're definitely not going to be wishing that this was more powerful. I was just expecting it to be so. Throwing it in. Whoop. Yeah, more eager to downshift in sport mode. Feels really strong through the turn. Brakes feel good. Steering feels even better, guys. This is a sporty platform. It's off-road capable. You can comfortably seat 5 passengers and you'll fit a ton of cargo in the back seat. If that's what you're looking for, guys, this is really one of the best options in the compact segment. Not to mention the heated and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, and standard 4-wheel drive. All right, guys, taking a step out here in sport mode, we can lean into a little bit more. Woo! Yeah. Guys, this thing can pull really hard. You look down and you're absolutely flying. We'll try out these paddles. Woo! Yeah, and even with the paddles, it automatically shifts us at about 5,500 RPM. So we really can't test out that red line. Rev match downshifts though, we'll see if it lets us use first. It does, and does so very smoothly. All right guys, real world turning radius. We'll step in the gas once we're situated. Let's go. Yeah. It gets in the highways really quickly. The paddle shifters work relatively quickly too. Let's do one more test. Third gear, boost. Yeah, it takes about a second to react. But if you're buying this car, you're probably not going to be spending too much time with the paddle shifters. The transmission is snappy. It's nice to not have a CVT like we get with most compact SUVs nowadays. This turbo engine is strong. The mid-range feels great, and you can hear that turbo blow off as soon as you let off the throttle. This is a really sporty compact SUV. It is quick, it is spacious, and when it comes to exterior styling, I think they do probably one of the best jobs here, if not the best. One more turning radius test. We'll let this pilot get situated. First gear, on the gas. Woo! Shift, it's pretty quick. Not the quickest, but it does the job. Overall, guys, if you're looking for a compact SUV, you're not a big fan of CVTs, and you're not really a big fan of underpowered 4-cylinder engines, I would definitely recommend checking this one out. Yes, we're creeping over $40,000, but we have every option and feature you could possibly want. A beautiful interior, beautiful exterior, and driving dynamics that make you look down and question whether or not you're driving a Mazda or something sold by BMW, guys. If you're looking for the best performance and luxury bargain around the $40,000 price point, I would definitely recommend checking out the 2024 Mazda CX-50. Check out the turbo, and if you want the heated and ventilated seats but don't want to pay $46,000 plus, check out the premium. And a big thanks to George at Furman Mazda in Tampa, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to your inventory, and if you're looking for a new car, SUV, or truck in the Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out, and that's for George. And huge thanks to all of you for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel is just not possible without you, and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment. Let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you want to see reviewed on this channel, and I'll definitely try getting those videos for you ASAP. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.